All right, good morning, everyone. Today we're going to do lower body stuff. It is leg day. The only thing I'd recommend you have for this class are a set of blocks or a low surface you can put your hands on that's safe. So a set of books works well for that. A coffee table works well for that. Other than that, our usual advancing beginners flow. So as always, let's start by finding a comfortable seat. Take a moment to settle in and root down. And once your body comes to stillness, just allow your eyes to come to a half gaze or to close completely and begin to cultivate some nice deep belly breaths, really giving yourself that full freedom of deep breathing. Now, as you breathe, let's begin to find some gentle movement to go along with that breath. So on your next inhale, roll your spine out long, sit tall on the mat, and then exhale to soften, to melt. Inhaling, lifting, rising, lengthening, and exhaling to soften. And just feel this happen a few more times in your body, connecting breath and movement together. On your next inhale, let's add some arms, sweeping our fingertips out to the sides, up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. So just some nice opening sun breaths here. Inhaling, opening, expanding, lengthening in all directions, and exhaling, drawing that energy down through and into your body. Now, right here in this space of movement meditation, you can stay with this pattern. You can also begin to change it to meet whatever needs you happen to feel right now. So if it would feel really good to add a side stretch on or to change the pattern in any way, begin to feel welcome to do so. Move intuitively, just noticing what needs to release in your body. Where do you need to stretch today? It's going to be different for all of us. And then from here, simply gently walk your hands back to seated, making your way into stillness. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to set your intention for your practice this morning. And then once that intention is set, release your hands down to the mat. We're going to sweep our feet around behind us, finding our way to tabletop. Again, just warming up the body. So for tabletop, wrists come beneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Set yourself up nice and stable. On your next inhale, roll your heart forward. Exhale to coil your belly in, drop crown of your head, let your head dangle, and then inhale, rolling open, tipping the tailbone toward the sky, and exhaling to coil. Now, as you breathe, as you move here, again, feel empowered to make changes. So you can stay exactly as you are in cat-cow if this feels amazing. You're also welcome to find free-form spinal movement here. So sometimes that's big circles with the chest or the hips. Sometimes it's shifting side to side. And as with the opening movement meditation, it's really just an opportunity to zone in, to notice what needs to move, what needs to release today. And then begin to make your way back to your stable, centered tabletop. We're going to draw the knees a little bit closer together underneath the hips, just so that we feel really stable here. On your next inhale, extend your right leg long behind you and lower your toe down to the mat. Press into your right heel to stretch the back of your right leg. It's mostly in the calf. You might feel it a little bit in your hamstring as well. We'll just breathe right here for a few more moments. And then lower that right knee down to meet your left. Let's feel that on the other side. Inhale, your left leg long. Exhale, lower the tip of your toe. Begin to press into that left heel, stretching out the back of the left leg. Just gently sustaining the stretch, keeping your breath long and slow and smooth. And then lower that left knee down to join your right. So from here, we're going to walk our hands back or step our feet forward to transition into forward fold. You can get there however you'd like to. And once you arrive, just surrender. Allow your upper body to pour over your legs. If it would feel good to find movement, feel free to do so. I love to rock back and forth in forward fold. As with all things yoga, though, your mileage may vary. Only do movement if it feels good. And then gently come to stillness if you are in motion. Bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Sweep your fingertips to the sky. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Release your hands down by your sides. And if you're not already there, make your way toward the top of your mat to set up your first mountain pose of practice. Now, as always, we want to make this first one very conscious and deliberate. So really look at where your feet are placed. You want to root down, sometimes lifting your toes and spreading them and setting them down can make you feel more rooted to the ground. Then begin to draw energy up, right? So we lift the inner arches of the feet, we engage our quads, navel draws in, tailbone reaches long, shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward, a rise of energy all the way up to the crown of the head. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. And exhale, fold all the way forward. Bowing over your legs, bending your knees enough to find a set of blocks or to find the mat, just depends on your practice today. On your next inhale, step your right foot back to lunge and lower that right knee all the way down. So set up a nice safe lunge. We want to frame that left shin with our arms. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift back. Let your hips draw you back. That left leg will start to straighten out. Left toes might rise. Inhale, shifting forward. And exhale, shifting back. And remember to follow your own breath pattern here, even if that means that you're on a different part of the movement than me or on someone or than someone who is practicing with you. We all have different lung capacities. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. From here, tabletop. Wrists come beneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And again, let's take a little pause for movement right here. So that is cat-cow or free form spinal movement, yogi's choice. Coming back to a neutral spine in tabletop, let's walk our hands, one hand span forward, and shift our shoulders over our wrists. Now we're setting up for half plank here, so we want knees, hips, and shoulders to be in one long line. Press the earth away, create buoyancy in your shoulders. Core is still engaged, so that tailbone is reaching long. Bend your elbows and float your way all the way down to the mat. Walk your toes back to create space beneath you and bring your fingertips wide. They can come off the mat. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other. This is creative cobra, freeing the spine. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop, or if you have one in your practice and you'd like to take it, you can take downward facing dog here. Wherever you find yourself, find movement. So if you're in tabletop, that is cat-cow or freeform spinal movement. If you're in down dog with me, we are walking out our dogs, bending one knee and then the other, dropping one hip and then the other, finding ease, stability. And then stabilize, come to stillness. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower your left knee all the way down to the mat. So let's set up our nice safe lunge again on this side. We want to make sure that that right knee is directly over the right ankle. And we want to frame that front leg, that shin, with our arms. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift back. Again, your toes might rise. Get that stretch to the back of your right leg. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhaling, shifting back. On your next inhale, shift all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together and fold. Soften right here. Surrendering, allowing our bodies to melt once more, finding ease. Remembering to relax your head and neck. Let the crown of your head reach toward the earth. And then coming to stillness. If you are in motion, bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Check in with your mountain pose. If you moved, no big deal, but let's just reset our feet. Once again, looking down at the earth and then rising, feeling that energy flowing upwards. Strong core, open heart. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold, pouring over your legs. Plant your fingertips either on your blocks or on the mat. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge and then lower that left knee down. So let's take that flowing lunge a little bit deeper this time. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhale, as you shift back, walk your hands back as well. And you can move your hands on blocks if you're using blocks. Get that deeper stretch to the back of the right leg. Inhaling, walking forward. And exhaling, walking back. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Tabletop. Stabilize here for a moment, get aligned, and then walk your hands, one handstand forward, shoulders shifting over the wrists, finding half plank or yogi's choice. If you'd like to turn up the heat a little bit, you can turn your toes under and lift your knees for full plank. Again, we want to stay really engaged through the belly here, so that navel's drawing in. On your exhale, bend your elbows, float your way down to the mat, lots of control. Walk your toes back. Once you're down, fingertips are wide. Roll it out. Creative cobra. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Again, finding a little movement wherever you've landed, a little ease, and then coming into stillness, stabilizing your pose. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Now, if that right knee is lifted, we're going to lower it down to the mat. Check in first before we start the flow, right? We want to make sure we're aligned, left knee directly over the left ankle, framing that front leg. Inhale to look forward, exhaling, shifting back, this time walking the hands, whether on blocks or just touching the mat. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhaling, walking back. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together and fold, soften. Again, take a moment right here, relaxing through the neck and head. On your next exhale, bend both knees, roll your way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Check in with your mountain pose, reset if you need to. Stabilizing once more, strong core, open heart. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Bend both knees, fingertips touch the ground or onto your set of blocks. On your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge. Okay, so today is leg day and lower body strength day. So I'm going to give you choices here. You can keep that right knee lifted off the mat. If that feels like too much, go ahead and lower that right knee down. This exercise can be done in both ways. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift back, right? Same movement we've been doing, just with the back knee lifted. Inhaling, rolling forward to lunge, looking forward, heart shining. Exhaling, drawing back, that left hip leads the way. Inhaling forward. Let your next inhale bring you to lunge. Lower your right knee down. If it's lifted, let's find tabletop first. Walk your hands, one hand span forward. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Half plank, or again, if you're feeling ambitious today, you can take this in full plank. Staying aligned, navel drawing in, pressing the earth away, we bend the elbows and float our way down to the mat. Walk your toes back, create space, and bring your fingertips wide. Roll one shoulder and then the other. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, whichever feels better in your body right now. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. Now, yogi's choice, again, right? It is leg day. We can keep that back knee lifted, or we can lower the left knee down to the mat. Inhale to look forward. Exhaling, shifting back. Inhaling forward. And exhale. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. If your back knee is down, turn your toes under to lift it. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, step together. And surrender. Take a moment to fold right here. Rock from side to side if that would feel nice. Coming to stillness, let's bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Check in one last time with your mountain pose. Last time through our sun salutations today. Root your feet down to the earth. Again, feeling that amazing strength in your core, that openness in your heart. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to pour forward. This time on your inhale, halfway rise. Let's bring the hands to the shins or the thighs. Shoulders are going to roll back and down. And we're looking for a straight back here, fairly flat. Keep your legs as straight as you can. And just begin to walk your fingertips down. So we're creating a smaller angle, right at that hip joint. And you'll feel a deep stretch along the backs of your legs. We want to try to keep our heart shining forward, keep the back flat as we experience this stretch. On your next exhale, let's bend both knees, fingertips come down to the mat. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge. This time we're going to lower all the way down, planting that left knee down to the earth. Walk your hands up your right knee. So of course, lower body strength also involves stability. So we're just going to do some hip opening right here, lift it up in lunge. Root through that right foot. On your next inhale, sweep your left arm out to the side, up to the sky, reaching over to the right. So we're going to feel a gorgeous stretch all the way on that left side and into that left hip flexor. And then we're going to lower that left hand down. Let's feel it on the other side. Inhale, sweep your right arm out to the side, up to the sky, reaching over to the left. This, of course, challenges balance, right? We're making our upper body asymmetrical. And let's lower that right hand down. Last one, reach your left arm forward. Now, before we go up, we're going to engage the core. So draw your navel in, then inhale, reaching up and back. Baby back bend, lifting from behind the heart. That's why the core is engaged. It keeps us from crunching through the lower back. Exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Tabletop. Now, from here, we're going to keep our hips high. Walk your hands forward. Melt your heart toward the mat for puppy dog pose. Remember that there are options here. Puppy dog can be very strong in the shoulder joint. So you can always bend your elbows and put your forearms to the mat so that you can enjoy the back stretch without the strain in your shoulders. If that stretch feels good, of course, keep your arms extended. And then lower your elbows, roll your way all the way out and down onto your belly. Walk your toes back to create space. Now this time we're going to come to Sphinx pose for our core cultivation right in this space. So bring your elbows to directly beneath your shoulders. And we want to keep these aligned with our body. So try not to be too far out to the sides. That can put undue pressure on the shoulder joint. Plant your forearms, spread your fingers, and press through your palms. Notice the buoyancy in your shoulders, right? If we collapse here, there's a really big difference. So press the earth away, feel strong. Now from here, we're going to turn the toes under. Draw your awareness to where your belly is resting on the mat. Draw your navel up first. Maybe we roll to the points of the knees and we stay right there. Maybe you float those knees free and you find your way to forearm plank. We're just going to breathe right here, cultivating a little strength. Sometimes smiling can help make this less challenging. They used to tell me that trick in ballet all the time. Smile. Smile and it's less often. And then on your next exhale, let's roll it down. Knees, quads, hips. Make a pillow with your hands, rest your head, and rock your hips from side to side. Let it go. If you like to do windshield wiper legs here, you can totally do that. And then return your toes to the mat. Press back, tabletop, or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Take a moment to stabilize and then inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. If your back knee is lifted, lower it down. All right, so we're going to find that same opening in lunge. We're going to walk our hands up that left knee. Remember that if this feels unstable at any point, you can always grab a block and place it to the inside of your right hip. That can be a really great way to stabilize. All right, so let's open it up. Sweep your right arm out to the side, up to the sky, reaching over to the left. And just really sinking into that left knee, opening the right hip, and feeling that gorgeous opening all along the right side of your body. And release. Let's lower that right hand down to the left knee. We're going to feel that on the other side. Left arm out to the side. Up and over, reaching to the right. Again, holding our bodies, feeling stable here, even with that asymmetry. And release. Lower that left hand down. All right, sweep your right arm forward. Now we're going to stop here and engage the core first again, right? Coming strong through the belly. And then inhale. Lift that right arm up to the sky, maybe a baby back bend from behind the heart. Core stays engaged to protect the lower back. And exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, step together. And fold. Take a moment to pause right here. We're going to take a full lunar pause. Relax. You can find movement if that's good. Breathe deeply. And come back to your intention for your practice. Returning to center, to stillness. Bend both knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Release your hands down by your sides. Great work, everyone. We're going to come down to the mat for core cultivation. And let's start today all the way down on our backs. Let's draw our knees in. And once you come down to the earth, find a little movement. Rock from side to side. Massage your lower back on the mat. You can also draw big circles with your knees, really getting into the back of your hips. And come to center, to stillness. Let's relax our arms down to the mat. We're going to begin with yoga scissors today. Engage your core lightly. So we're not fully pressing into the mat, but we're staying strong through the belly. And then press your heels to the sky. Now, the great thing with yoga scissors is that it allows us to stretch the backs of our legs while we're doing core cultivation. You know me, I love multitasking. So we're going to do both those things at the same time. On your next exhale, lower your right heel down. This can be 45 degrees. It can be a little more, a little bit less, whatever feels good. Inhale back to center. Exhale to lower your left heel down. And inhale back to center. And simply continue to follow this pattern, remembering that wherever that bottom heel goes, the lower it is, the more challenging this is on your core. So you can choose your desired level of effort this morning. And then we're going to wrap up and draw both knees in, let it go, rock from side to side, breathe. Coming to stillness at the center, we're going to leave our toes touching and open the knees out to either side, making a diamond shape with our legs. And you can float your toes a little higher if you'd like to give yourself a nice wide diamond shape to work with. Sweep your fingertips toward the sky, interlace everything but your index fingers. So we are making the Charlie's Angels finger gun. On your exhale, point through the diamond of your legs. So we're crunching up, shoulders come off the mat. Exhaling back down, or rather inhaling back down and exhaling, coiling, pointing away. Inhaling back down to the mat. Now, on your next crunch, you can stay in your slow flow or sustain and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Draw your knees in, turn your head from side to side as you rock from side to side. Anytime we pull our shoulders up off the mat while we are lying down, it causes neck tension. So let's take a moment to just let that go. Come back to stillness at the center. Let's rock forward to seated for our last core cultivator today. And for this one, set yourself up with a nice V seat. We're going to work in the base for boat pose for Navasana. So we want our feet planted, we want a deep bend in the knees, we want to be sitting forward on our sits bones, those bony protrusions in your bum. And the reason for that is so that we can stay engaged and lifted, so we're not rounded here, right? If you find that you're hanging on for dear life, scoot your hips back a little further. Engage your belly, lift your heart, and we're going to float our hands. On your next exhale, hinge back. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Okay, you can stay right here. To add on a little bit of leg work, we're going to start alternating one foot and then the other. So if you choose to go that route, come to your tippy toes. And then as you shift backward, we're going to lift one leg. Bring that toe down and the other leg. And remember, wherever you are on your yoga journey today is correct. If this is too much, that is totally okay. Just be where you are. All right, last one. And we're going to shift forward, planting the feet, melting over the legs, and rocking from side to side. If that feels good. Take a moment to surrender. Once more, we're coming back to our breath, back to our intention. All right, so coming into stillness, we're going to make our way up to standing, but before we do, I want you to position a couple of blocks at the top of your mat, or if you're using a coffee table or another low surface, go over near that low surface. And then let's find our way to our feet. You know what, that can actually stay down. Okay, so standing right near that supportive surface, we're going to sweep our hands to the sky and exhale, fold forward. Now plant your hands on whatever surface you're working with and step in so you feel like you can have that surface nice and centered underneath your shoulders, so it's very stable. Remember, if you're working with yoga blocks, if this feels like still too much, you can stack the blocks and make the surface higher. We're going to shift all of our weight into our left foot. So feel that happen, shifting over. And then on your inhale, reach your right leg long behind you. Exhale to lower your toe down to the mat. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Okay, this is option one. Option two does even more work for the lower body. It is harder. On your exhale, we're going to bend that left knee as we draw that right toe down. Inhaling, straightening the left and right leg. Exhaling, coiling in. And inhaling to expand. Last time. And we're going to lower that right foot down and surrender, forward fold. Find a little bit of ease, movement, let it go. It's a tough one, right? You can really feel it in your glutes. Okay, so we're going to set that up on the other side. Come back, place your hands onto that supportive surface. This time we're shifting our weight over into the right foot. So feel that shift happen, feel stable, and then extend your left leg long behind you. Exhale to lower the left toe down, and inhale to lift. All right, so remembering we have options, right? You can stay right here. You can also take breaks and pause. If you would like to turn up the heat, bend your right knee as you draw your left knee in. Inhale, extend your left leg long, straighten the right. Exhaling to coil. Inhaling to extend. So we can feel this almost like we're curling into a little seed and then opening out and expanding. And on this exhale, we're going to lower that left foot down and fold. Let it go. Find ease. Breathe. Shift your blocks out of the way. Bend both knees. Roll your way up to standing. If you moved somewhere to be over a supportive surface, go ahead and come back to your mat at this point. And let's set up for our warrior sequence today. So we're going to be working in warrior one because that gives us so many options for building leg strength. So find yourself in your mountain pose. We'll start by stepping the right foot forward and the left foot back, bend your right knee. Now in warrior one of the big things we want to look into is how that left calf feels. So just mess around with the placement of your left foot, with the angle, with how wide your stance is, until you feel comfortable. Turn your heart and hips toward the front of the mat. We want to put a nice deep bend in that right knee. This is where those warriors get that name, right? As we get good quad strength. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. And exhale, sweep behind. Inhaling. And exhaling. All right, so let's start building in a lower body pulse. On your next inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale to sink. Inhaling, straightening. Exhaling, sinking. Okay, you can stay right here. If you would like to add on, once you're down, pivot on your back foot so it comes to tippy toes, finding yourself in high lunge. Inhaling, straightening that right leg. Exhale, as you come down, we're gonna bend both knees. So that left knee's gonna come close to the mat. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, lowering down. And remember, there are many places to be along this journey. Choose the variation that works for you. On this next inhale, we're going to sustain. Let's lower our hands. If your back foot is in tippy toes, just step it down. Both feet are facing forward now. We're setting up for pyramid pose. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, pour forward, bowing over your right leg. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. We're just going to soften right here and breathe. Now bend both knees, fingertips are going to come down to the mat. Step your left foot all the way back to lunge and lower your left knee down. From here, walk your hands all the way back and let your right toes reach toward the sky. We're just going to sustain right here. Depending upon how open the back of your leg is, you can come all the way down and sit on that left calf. From here, we're going to find a flow, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, bowing forward. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling to melt. From here, walk your hands forward. Child's pose. Bring your toes to touch, knees are wide. Sink your hips back and melt down to the mat. And remember, child's pose is not a good rest pose for you. You can always choose something else. Sorry about the barking. Leaf-a. Take a moment right here. Come back to your breath, back to your intention. And then as you're ready, simply walk your hands back. We're going to find our way back to standing once more for the other side. All right, so we're going to start again at the top of the mat. This time we're going to work on that left side. So we're going to step the left foot forward and the right foot back for warrior one. Again, bending that left knee and turning our hips and hearts toward the top of the mat. Noticing how this feels in the right ankle and right calf and adjusting that foot and the angle of it until it feels right. So we feel stable right here. And then inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, sweeping away. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to sweep away. Did you decide to be noisy? That was helpful. So from here, let's add that pulse. Exhaling, lowering the hands down. This time on your inhale, we're going to stretch that left leg, straightening out. Exhale, bend your left knee. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to bend. Okay, yogi's choice. You can stay right here in this flow. If you would like to add on, once you're low, hit it on your right foot, coming to tippy toes on that right side. Inhale, sweep your fingers up, leg straightens. Exhale, as you lower down, we're gonna bend that right knee as well. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling, both knees bend. And remember, do the practice that's right for you today, right? Be where you are. All right, last one. Exhale, both hands down. Step your right foot in a little bit, coming down to a nice flat foot. We're gonna turn our hips and hearts again, stabilizing, centering. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, bowing over that left leg, pyramid pose, drawing the right hip forward and the left hip back, and just softening. From here, bend both knees, fingertips come all the way down to the mat. We're gonna step that right foot all the way back to lunge and lower down to the right knee. Walk your hands back, let your left toes rise. So we're finding half monkey pose here. Depending upon how open the back of your left leg is, you might shift all the way back to sit on that right calf. Wherever you've landed, we're gonna find that flow in the spine. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling, bowing forward. Inhaling, creating space. Exhaling to bow, getting a nice deep stretch to the back of that very hard-working left leg. And then release. We're going to bend that left knee, walking forward. Toes come to touch. Knees open out to either side. Sink your hips toward your heels. Walk your hands forward and melt. Child's pose. Coming down to surrender. Returning to your breath. Returning to your intention for your practice today. Gently walk your hands back and we're going to sweep our feet around to the front. Draw the soles of your feet together in front of you and meeting in butterfly pose. Now we've done a fair bit of leg work and hip work today, so your hips should feel fairly open. So take a moment to choose where that stretch should be. Maybe you draw your heels in a little closer than usual. The most important thing here is to be able to sit forward on your sits bones. So if your spine's rounded, create a little more space between your feet and your body. Then lengthen your spine, get tall first. Exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips, keeping your spine long. And then when you have found that point where you won't stretch any further with a straight spine, in my body it's right here, then allow your spine to curve. You can trail your fingertips forward, have them by your feet. If you'd like to, you can bring your elbows to your inner thighs or your calves, applying gentle downward pressure to help open those hips a little more. Just depends on where you need to stretch today. And then gently walking the hands back, we're going to roll our way all the way up to seated. Draw your left heel in and extend your right leg long. turn your heart toward your right foot. Inhale, create plenty of space, and we're gonna fold forward over that right leg. Now, your hands can land wherever is comfortable. So that might be the thigh or the shin, maybe it's the toes. And we're gonna find a pulse right here. Every inhale, create length, right? We lengthen the spine, heart and toes reaching toward each other. And then exhale, we soften into the space we've created. Inhaling, lengthening. And exhaling to soften. From here, we're going to gently walk our hands back and let's switch it out. Drawing that left heel in or that right heel in and extending the left leg long. Turn your heart toward your left foot. Inhale to create length and exhale, fold forward. Again, wherever your hands land is fine. Thigh, shin, foot, mat, earth, whatever works. Create plenty of length, get long, and exhale, soften, melting. From here, we're going to gently walk our hands back and then roll all the way down onto your back. Draw your knees in and just rock from side to side. Finding a little ease, again, maybe taking a moment and drawing big circles with the knees. Just a little self-massage right here, wherever you need it. Come to stillness at the center. We're going to open our arms out to either side, make a nice big T on the earth. Drop your knees off to your right-hand side and turn your head to look to the left. Take a moment to soften right here in this supported twist. Just letting your body melt into the earth. And then inhale, draw your knees back to center. Exhale to drop them off to the left-hand side. Turn your head to look to the right. Again, melting right here into the earth. Just breathing. Draw your knees back to center. Rock from side to side. If there is any additional movement, any stretch, anything at all you would like to feel, take a moment to honor that request. And then as you are ready, Begin to find your way all the way down into your Shavasana. Remembering that there are so many different approaches for corpse pose, right? We can lie flat on the mat, heels wide, toes falling out to either side, shoulders are relaxed, palms face the sky. This is classical Shavasana. But if this is uncomfortable in your lower back, we can make changes. You can bend both knees, planting your feet and let your knees fall together at the center. You are also, of course, welcome to take supine goddess pose here. That can be lovely. You could take child's pose, and seated meditation is also always an option. So take a moment to find your way into your Shavasana, your resting place. Consciously relax all the points where your body is touching the earth. Just let those parts melt. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. And then simply let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. And begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in, full body stretch. And exhale to draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually make your way all the way over onto your right side and just curl into the posture of the sleeping child. No tension here. You can cradle your head on your right arm if that would feel good. Take a moment in this space that you have created to return once more to your intention for practice. Just connecting to whatever that idea or emotion was. Breathing it in, feeling it circulate through your body. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We're going to close our practice this morning with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you, friends. Let me go ahead and stop this recording.